built generational wealth,
Yes.
and I want them to get it. Not
Yes.
the tax man to get another cut
No,
of
no,
it.
no, 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 no.
I don't want creditors to touch it, and I don't want an executor to be my
to be able
boss
to execute
baby.
it and stuff, yeah. And I think that's the other thing, it's not so much about just making the money itself and generational wealth, which is beautiful, but it's also seeing how you can mitigate the risk and actually protect it.
Yes.
I think is more exciting. And you've done all three of them, which is beautiful.
Thank you.
And I've learned a lot, by the way. And then also now, obviously, you've done all of this, you've mitigated all this risk. How do you choose your trustee, for instance?
You've got to be careful there. You can't have a trustee that might not be your friend in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because otherwise you've got to go to court to fight trustees, and it's a mess.
Yeah.
So a trustee, a founder and a trustee are very, very important that you trust that person.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then having your children, if you love your children, which
Obviously.
99% of us do,
Absolutely.
then we want to have our children as beneficiaries in
Yes.
the beginning, and when they're of age, you want to turn them into trustees as well.
Nice. Yeah, and that's the beauty about it. So not only, because in most cases, what I've noticed with most people is necessarily, I wouldn't say it's not teaching the kids how to be financially their IQ on the financial aspect of things, but having to breeze them in that sense is quite smart. I feel being a beneficiary and eventually you breaching out to being a trustee, I think the experience of it, then you're actually going to study, because firsthand you're going through it.
Yes.
So I feel it's quite helpful.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that everybody that's watching, but that's the benefit, of creating generational wealth. I feel like with you putting your kids obviously in that structure, it just helps them to flow and understand the whole thing properly, so that the kids also can actually do the same. Yeah.
Also, if let's say you buy a house in a trust, or in a company and the shares are owned by the trust, and you choose to sell that house, that profit that's sitting there can be paid out to trustees and to beneficiaries, and they pay tax in their personal capacities.